I shouldn't have started it. Okay, what I'm going to do. Oh, Aura's not competing today. Dang it. Sorry, sorry. I don't have the DJ skills yet with my little baby MacBook to transition slowly and close it out. So, hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Poetic Pathos Youth Slams. Youth Slams. We're still kind of figured out everything. I'm your very awkward host, Joel Mayo, co-director and coach of Poetic Pathos. Let me bring up my script. Sorry for the late start. We operate on that late times. It is what it is. It's that CP time all the time. Like I know that's my life. I wake up probably a minute before class starts. So let's get it started. We have a great show tonight for y'all. We have 9 poets competing for really just not practice, but just competing for those points to get on our final slam stage in April. So just a little, if you're new to us, not here, have not been here before, sorry. Okay, I got to take a deep breath. My mind's like all over the place. ADD, got like stuff going everywhere. So let me start again. I told you I'm your awkward host. This is why I'm not MC. This is why I'm gonna introduce our MC in a second. Anyways, Poetic Pathos Youth Slam. If you have never been here before or watched our shows or don't know what we're doing, who we are, whatnot, we are Fayetteville, North Carolina's, I would say like county-wide collective slam organization for all the youth in Fayetteville, Cumberland County, all around the area. We started off as a measly little slam team at a high school. Then we started growing, ended up, and that was at Grace Creek High School. Shout out to my folks there. But we ended up growing, ended up going to Brave New Voices, and we're like, you know what, we really need to bring this to the area, bring this to the county, because we can't just have it at our little section. And granted, we love our kids, but we want this to be something for all the youth, which is why we are here today, to celebrate our youth, to celebrate their voices, to celebrate their talent. So welcome. Really hope you enjoyed today's show. That being said, let me introduce you to our MC for the night so I can stop talking awkwardly and I can start focusing on scores and music and all this other stuff. She is none other than Cumberland County Schools Teacher of the Year, not just like one school, not just like 2. She's all Teacher of the Year. Let's hear it for Mrs. Nicole Rivers.
Thank you for that warm introduction. Love it, love it. You guys, listen, I am so happy to be back here one more Friday evening. This is an honor, this is a privilege, and it is so much fun to host, to MC the second slam competition, because these poets are phenomenal. And we are excited about what they have to offer. And they are working towards getting on that big stage of Brave New Voices, an international competition in which Poetic Pathos this past summer took 3rd place. So we are on a roll and we want to keep it moving, and we want to expand it beyond the Hope Mills area, all over Cumberland County. So we are excited to have the privilege to do this today. All right. So with that being stated, we have some rules for the slam tonight, just in case you weren't here last time or you forgot. All right. So there will be 3 rounds. In each round, each poet has 3 minutes and 30 seconds plus a 10-second grace period to kind of get through their pieces and take us on that journey. They don't have to go that long, but that's their max. All poems are accepted unless they promote hate or violence of any sort. So we don't censor the students. We have a diverse community of students, and we want them to know, in a diverse community of youth, and we want them to know that their voices are welcome.
Yep, well, internet. I don't know if it's mine in the live stream or Miss Rivers. This is, this is part of the
It's
unfortunate.
movie.
There you go.
Got it there. All right, good stuff. All right, so with that, I am just over the moon tonight because I get to introduce our judges. And our judges have come full circle. Each and every one of them at one point was a part of Poetic Pathos before it was countywide, when it was only at Gray's Creek, and we were just forging a new path, creating and altering and changing and upsetting culture, and just making sure that people heard the voice of the youth. And so they are pioneers, and we are happy to have them here tonight. So I'm going to introduce each judge to you. All right, so um, the first one we have is Akia McGoughlin. I hope I didn't mess up your last name, love. I do love you so much. All right, so she is a graduate of UNCP. In a graduate school at UNCP and a graduate of Methodist University. She is doing her thug thizzle out there, okay? She was a pioneer of the first poetry showcase, specializing in feminist and multicultural poetry, and has been published twice, okay, in the Tapestry Literary Magazine. All right, so she is holding it down. Our next judge is Galen Dent. Galen is a senior at Duke University studying neuroscience and psychology. Okay. All right, try to mess with her. I don't think we can. All right, so she plans on attending medical school and research. She is currently the College Union Poetry Slam Invitational, or C, uh, on the Cup C chair for Duke University Slam Poetry Team Spoken Bird. So she is still in the poetry community, a phenomenal poet back in high school and still holding it down in college. I'm loving it. Then we have Nick Bishop. Nick is a senior studying English education at UNCP. Now, you know that's my heart. You know, I'm so excited about that. All right. After graduation, he plans on being a high school English teacher with a focus on American literature and poetry. He is an activist and slam poet, and he plans on creating a slam team in his school when he begins teaching. Loving that. Then we have Xavier.
Cutting out again, Miss Rivers. Another moment of silence. So if you can hear out in the, let me add, I'll join. I see Miss Rivers is out on that end. This is just, what we had to deal with, unfortunately, while we're in the virtual world. Oh, yeah, Miss Rivers, we missed like your entire spill because your internet went out. Okay. Yes, this is the second time too, because it cut off when you're explaining the rules, which I figure like everybody will catch on anyways. But we definitely want to.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear
So
you.
you missed all my judges.
No, we missed Xavier when you started.
Xavier. Okay, let me rewind because he's important. Okay, so Xavier is our poet soldier. Okay, he is handling the lines, the bars, and handling the enemies of this country. He is doing his thug thizzle out there. He is promoting himself on YouTube. He is, putting videos out there when he can't get to open mics. So we're loving it. Now, did we hear that?
Yeah, yep, they're good now.
Okay, awesome, awesome, love it. All right, so and then we have Jay Locklear. Jay is a sophomore at UNCP studying mass communications with the hopes of being
It's doing it again.
out there handling this information in this business today. So happy not writing poetry anymore. Can you still hear me? You're making me nervous. No? Oh, Lord, I'm going to have to do something different.
Just repeat half, start over, Jay. So it's okay.
I'm switching my computer. I think it's the Lenovo. I think it is. So
the desktop.
Yeah, it's
sad, those Lenovo desktops. They're not.
Sad. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna look this up in a second. But
share this with
Jay is going to be an anchor, a news anchor, and is going to be out there being a voice and a representative that we need. Someone who's really handling this information properly. They are not writing poetry anymore, sadly, but they are writing for the school newspaper, still writing. We need that good information. We love it. All right, so I'm hoping you guys can still hear me, and I'm going to try to multitask and switch over, but y'all know how that works. So I'm going to keep it moving. I want to multitask like I do in my classroom because this is what we got to do. All right. So anyway, judges get to score 0 to 10 and anything point whatever in between. All right. Scores will be silent for the first round and the second round. At the end of the first 2 rounds, the rankings will be announced. For the final round, we will announce each poet's score after their performance. During the slam audience, you have a job, a big job. Your job is to hype up the poets. Hype them up, hype them up. How do you do that? You put comments in on YouTube. You let them know what you enjoyed about what they did. You celebrate them because it takes a lot of courage to do what they are doing tonight. So whether you agree with what they're saying or not, the message, know that public speaking is a scary thing. So they're doing big things just getting in front of you and speaking their truth. All right. So I want you guys to keep them hyped up. Now, we'll be hyping them up in the Zoom chat. You know, we like to all poets celebrate other poets. This is what we got to do as part of the culture. Show love. And then judges, you know, we're going to try to influence you as the audience because we want everybody to get a 10. So we're going to be like, you know, hyping them up, but your job is not to be influenced. Okay, you got to be impartial. You have to be fair. You have to be kind. But they need to know. They need to know how you really receive these pieces. So be honest and don't let us sway you too much. But we're gonna do our best to sway you. And if we throw a little boo in the chat, if we don't like your score, don't take it to heart. You know, we just feel that way at that moment about that piece. Okay, so that is what we have for tonight as far as judging goes. And so we have our calibration poet that's going to come up. We normally call it the sacrificial poet, but we are trying to be more politically correct. Calibration poet. All right. Marshanti is going to come and do her piece. And the purpose of that is just to get our judges on the same page, trying to get them to get that first poem out the way before they get to the poets that are competing tonight. So without further ado, we're going to show Marshanti some love in the chat, and Marshanti is going to present her piece. You got this, Marshanti. Set that bar high.
Hi, I'm Marshanti, and my piece is called Imagination. Take me back to the time where life was simple, where all you had to do was close your eyes, imagine something so beautiful. Imagine a pretty princess or a fire-breathing dragon. The world was my canvas. My mind was the paintbrush, painting colors all around me. Looking up into the heavens, seeing dragons fly across the night sky, little cloud people dancing on the clouds. My imagination took me places only the bravest could survive. Fighting off evil, restoring the hope in the town. My imagination takes me away. It sweeps me off my feet, just like a prince with a princess. Take me back to the time where my eyes saw hope, to the place where dreams come true, swimming with mermaids, rainbows with candy at the end of them. Life as a little kid is colorful. It's filled with hope. You can see the love in their eyes. Imagination makes you view life differently. It puts colors in a dull life. The blues and the greens of the ocean where Atlantis lies, that used to be a swimming pool, the red hot lava that spills from the volcano that was once brown carpet. Anything and everything was an adventure. But as we start to grow up, we only see black and white. Life isn't filled with that imagination, but all of man's expectations. So for now, I hold it in my heart, with hopes that life, burdens, and blessings won't tear us apart. Imagination, I'll always cherish you. Thank you.
All right, all right, all right. Give it up for Marshanti in the chat. Give it up, give it up, give it up. Thank you so much. That took me back to a wonderful place. I love it. I love it. This other camera is not that great, but we're going to work with it. All right. So with that being stated, each poet from this point forward is going to come up and introduce him, her, or themselves. And we're just going to keep this moving tonight. May, are we good? Thumbs up.
We're gonna give our judges just a little bit of time to get their
All right. All right. So maybe some tunes.
So judges, yeah, just let me know if you guys need time because I know this is going to be a little fast paced. We are giving every single poet a chance to go 2 rounds, since we only have 9 competing this time around. And then we'll add them on as we go, and we'll narrow it down to our top 5. Okay, looks like we have our scores. We're good to go, Ms. Rivers.
All right, awesome. So are we announcing these calibration scores or?
You know what? Absolutely. All right, so with a, now I need to play some music probably. It's Friday, y'all. It's been a long week, almost at Thanksgiving break. So with a low score of a 6.3, boo. Is that what we want to do? Let's start. Boo, boo judges. 6.3, a 7, a 7.5, a 7.8, and a high score of an 8. Let's hear it from Marshanti.
Thank you so much, Marshanti. You rock. We appreciate you. All right, now we're ready to rock and roll with our poets. You'll come up one after the other introducing yourself, and we're going to get through round 1.
Hi, I'm Maddie, and this is my piece, Unrequited. Our hearts haven't collided. I'm convincing myself it's still love even when it's unrequited. You still know how to unwrap my heart from all these layers of wrapping paper, telling people you were the one that got away instead of the one that could not stay. I know that doesn't make it any better, but it's the blueprint for my broken heart. Feeling like love is supposed to be the adrenaline rush and not the calm before a storm. Closing the door on us as I watched through the keyhole, of you falling just not for me. I still think of you every day, leaving my heart singed with grief. Starting fights just to hear emotion when you speak, feeling like every conversation we had was underwater, scribbling out the truth with little white lies. Realizing that our rainbow is completely gone and all I have left is the storm. I promised I would be there, but you don't make it easy. Even with all this distance that you have pushed in between us, I would still fall right back into your arms. Even with all this shame that clouds my heart, I'm not strong enough to pull away from your grip. I'm running my hands through your hair, praying that I won't forget the feelings that you gave me, tracing my fingers to your broken pieces, catching them on the edges and turning them into my unsolved puzzle, taking in the pain of your past as I became your self-helpline. I made you perfect, just not for me, feeling like the piece that no one wants. But I've been reminding myself that it is, in fact, still love, even when it's unrequited. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kanae, and my poem is called Dear Malcolm. I'm sorry if I start coughing. Dear Malcolm, I wonder what you would say if you could see us now. Would you be angry? Well, of course you would be angry. What else could you be? I mean, the president is a white racist that thinks he's a god, and white racists think we should listen to him. They shoot us in the streets, and he calls them good people. A white kid murdered 2 and got called a hero for shooting, and they wonder why it isn't peaceful. We've been peaceful for decades. This year it's that stopped, and it seems to be making them open their ears, but all they can seem to focus on is the buildings that got burnt as if there was never a reason behind it. They think that the anger we bottled up should marinate while Black bodies lose their breath a little too quickly. They want us complacent, tell us that our peaceful is terrorism and that our violence is only okay when we aren't the ones causing it. They tell us to simply follow the law, like a woman wasn't killed for sleeping in her own house, like multiple Black people weren't shot for sleeping in their own house. And it's crazy because now we see that they can get away with shooting at the wrong house. I wonder if you could call this attempted genocide.
I mean, once it became illegal to use us, they separated, lynched, and abused us, and we still didn't disappear. And after all, letting pigs do it seems a little too familiar, doesn't it? The country we were forced into never had any intent on keeping us alive once we stopped working for free, dear Malcolm. The Civil War hasn't ended. It simply evolved after years of pent-up anger. Black people are no stranger to fighting for basic necessities. It's 2020, and it's sad that I'm not shocked we're still fighting for basic necessities. I've been prepping for this since elementary school. When my mother first told me that people would single me out because of my skin, when my mother first told me that I would have to work harder because of my skin, when my mother first got mad at me for using slang, because no matter how smart I am, if I sound ghetto, I won't get treated with respect. I guess chaos in the name of good is less thug-like when the skin isn't melanated. That's how it's been for years. But I know now that this is what you meant by any means necessary, because almost every movement in history got what they wanted through riots. This entire country was built on war, so they're lucky that riots are the worst of it, dear Malcolm. I wonder whether or not the riots will continue to be the worst of it, or is this just a revolution waiting to happen? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Yin, and this poem is called You. You, the light of my life, making me laugh in class. You, making me learn that there's so much more about myself to appreciate than what I do. You, being sweet and caring when it is needed, but you, oh no. You carry around the negative vibe all the time, never paying attention to the positive things in life. While I understand your living situation, it's always best to focus on the positive things. 1 year, 2 months. In that time, I learned a lot about how good our relationship could get. The times you were at my house, when we cuddled in the living room watching TV, the times we were in class together enjoying our time together. You, the man I loved and felt a strong connection to once, like a fungus to a tree. You, the man I don't feel a connection with anymore, and it pains me to say it. You, probably the sweetest ex I'll have, but I don't talk to my exes, so I'm not sure. I just know that the reason I discovered who I am, what I can appreciate about myself, is because of you. I'm not sure if you'll ever hear this, but if you do, just know I appreciated you so much. I remember when we had a huge argument over Xbox messages, and you would have rather to stay negative than look at the positives I handed you. I'm afraid it was at that point I started to drift from you. I drifted from you like a butterfly on the soft breeze that blew it away from the flower it was on. The silence between us for so long, with interactions here and there, made me feel as if I needed to leave. You, I wish you the best life. Good luck. Thank you.
Miss Rivers, our judges do need a little more time in between, so but I'll
I
probably
got you. I got you. Great job, Yen. Great job. Loving that you're speaking your truth and taking us through that emotional journey that you were on in that particular piece. We are loving it, you guys. Make sure you put some love in the chat for Yen. Put some love in the chat for all of our poets. You know, Kane, all of our poets, Maddie that has gone before, and audience, make sure you are showing love. Okay, so we have a variety of topics. Enjoy that. And poetry is so versatile and I love it. All right, so you guys, we're going to enjoy each and everyone's journey. Loving it, loving it, loving it. So our judges, you just let me know when you're ready. Okay. And loving this is Miss Pompey is saying awesome. Xavier says he started seeing the Xbox messages pop up in his head. That's good imagery, y'all. That's what you want people to do. You want them to envision what you are saying. All right. So you guys are phenomenal. Okay, our judges are ready. They're ready to rock and roll. So we are good for our next poet. Unmute. And check the volume on your device. Testing. I say testing because I can't hear anything. Go to your speaker icon and make sure that it's turned up if you can. Mail, you're more tech savvy than I am on this stuff. Is it me, Mail? Or you? No, you're muted. That's why I can't see you. I can't hear you, Mail.
Yeah, me, it's muted. My bad. I said tonight, I'd see if when you select your microphone, what mic you're using, and see if that helps. Go ahead and try leaving and rejoin, and then what we'll do is we'll throw you in as soon as you get back. All right. And then when you log in, it should give you the option to test it and just see if it works and make sure. Okay. So we'll go ahead and move on to Cheyenne then.
All right, so our next poet up is Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Cheyenne, and this is Pain. The pain won't go away. It won't get out of my life today, and if it doesn't, it better beware. I know what he did to me on that day. He told me he loved me, but he lied. He used me, and that wasn't right. I was a fool to listen to his lies. I trusted him, but all he gave me was pain. Not even in the November rain was I okay. He used me. He made me seem like a fool. All I ever did was love him. But for him, that wasn't good enough. I'll never forget the first day I met him. I thought he was amazing, so sweet, but now I can see I was the fool to and I will never trust him again. I don't want him back in my life. He made me feel so much pain. I never understood what was wrong with me. I thought it was all me. But as I started to wonder, why did he do it? Why did he leave when I needed him the most? He wanted something different, something that I could not give. I thought it was all my fault to begin with, but now I can see he never loved me. He only used me for what he wanted, and for that, I hate him. But then I stop and think, what if this was a sign that I could be alone forever? But that was not true. I have found the one. I went through so much struggle with him, and I know it was hard, but it made me feel better to know that there was actually someone there who could love and care for me like he did not. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cheyenne, for sharing that poem. Love the vulnerability being shown in that particular piece. All right, you guys show Cheyenne some love in the chat. You know, it takes so much courage to be vulnerable in front of an audience and to share your heart and your pain and to open up that side of yourself. And these poets are so brave to get out on the virtual stage and do that for us tonight. So make sure you are encouraging each poet and showing each poet some love. All right, Kanae says snaps. Ms. Pompey says nice. All right, snaps, snaps. All right, so we're good. Natalie says you go, poet. Loving it, loving it. Xavier says snaps. Okay, and judges, just let me know when you are ready. All right. Nick says keep it up, keep it up. Love that, love that. All right. Snaps profusely. I love it. Big words. It's too late for me to be pronouncing big words, even though I'm an English teacher. Y'all don't do me like that. All right, so love it, love it. Snap, 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 snaps. I know what it means. So, all right. So anyway, I think we are almost ready. Okay. Yes, we have a ready from the judges. I think we're ready to rock and roll on to our next poet. It's like that sometimes, Nick. I promise you. It's like, let me go press the pronunciation button. Okay, are we gonna do a sound check for Tanida?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we're good.
Awesome.
Okay. My name is Taneda Lopez, and this piece is called Perception. Perception. Is the glass half full or half empty? Is that girl a classy piece of trash or just another feminist with her head held high? Is the world perceived as an undefined society or a ball of mashed up emotions and cultures and tragedies? Politics and belligerence are essentially the same thing in the eyes of the beholder and those who suffer underneath his feet. Being dragged through the dirt with a collar of society's rules around my neck, showing me the false advertisements as though they're for me to want and strive to be, not fitting into the mold, too is being too overcome by the queen of modesty and unreliability, whose throne is made of the bones of our ancestors, the bones of those whose names we don't know, the bones of whose graves were unnamed and undiscovered, and those who never got to completely be made new. Trying and prying at our culture to show people the truth behind the curly hair and the curvy shape. You are described as one thing and decide to break the wall to a new degree, a new art piece at the gallery of our everyday lives and our everyday worldly problems, as known by our own torture devices. Torture devices. Oh, wait, silly me, I mean our cell phones. Maybe even from our own social media plates that we eat from as if we are starving. And really, all we want is a never ending loop of drama and news that we don't really need to hear about. And no matter the struggle, we always say, well, we just have to agree to disagree. No one can come to the rescue for the simple philosophy that, well, since the world is spinning on an axis, we must be doing something right, right? But the world can spin on an axis and still be piled to the brim with sweat and blood from the past, the present, and soon to be unreliable future. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Give it up for Taneda. Love it, love it, love it. Love that figurative language. I was feeling all those metaphors and all the different things. And better, y'all know I'm an English teacher, so that stuff does something for me. So wonderful, wonderful job. Snaps, snaps. Yes, girl. That's from Miss Pompey. All right, go poet. All right, yes, ma'am, from Xavier. All right, so good from Maddie. Okay, keep hyping her up, hyping her up, hyping her up. You guys, I'm loving the writing, loving the sophistication in the writing. All right, from Miss Baldwin, awesome, awesome, awesome job. And so, judges, let me know when you're ready. All right, but while we are waiting, we want to hype our poets up. So if you are out there watching and you are on YouTube, hype them up, y'all. It takes so much courage to do this. And we were here last time, and guess what? They came back. So I don't care what anybody says. They are all aces. They're all winners today in my book because they are doing a phenomenal job. And they came one time and they came back again. They didn't let this stage scare them. Loving it. All right. I think our judges are ready. They're good to go. So next, poets.
Hi, I'm Natalie. There's a trigger warning for suicide and depression, so if you need to step away, I'll give you a second to do so. April 19th, 2018, 8:54 a.m. The moment I found out you were gone, that I was left all alone, I felt the emotion leave my body like a dead man walking. Because you couldn't take it, you left me. As selfish as that may sound, you were all I had. You held me high when I was low, took the rope off of my neck, pills thrown across the room because you said without me you would be doomed. You said I was a part of you. So maybe that's why when you died, a piece of me left too. When you needed me, apparently I wasn't there. I watched you drop to your knees right before my eyes, and that is the last picture I have of you. It is etched into my brain, burned into the back of my eyes. That is all I see now. I don't picture your pretty smile, and I don't hear your belly laugh. I see you at your most vulnerable state, so I'm not writing this poem for myself, but to set you free. I feel you with me every minute of every single day, but I think it is time to let you go. You took your own life because you couldn't handle mine. I was just starting to grow my roots, but you were a tree towering over me, a rinsing tide. You washed over me and disappeared. I can remember your voice, your favorite cologne, that stupid pink hoodie you always wore. Maybe that's why my favorite color is pink, because I associate it with you, your love, your forgiveness, your patience. And with the sound of your name, I feel chills, KK. You will always be a part of me. Thank you.
Yes, you guys. Give it up. Give it up, you guys. I mean, our poets, they speak about those things that matter. They speak about those things that a lot of times society is not comfortable talking about. They say those things that the heart needs to hear because the heart needs to heal. And so that is so important. You know, so many great comments, Maddie. I'm feeling this to the bone. All right, feeling that emotion to the bone. All right, snaps. Yo, you did that. Okay, that's from Ms. Baldwin. Love the aggression and emotion. Okay, that it and snaps for the emotion. So much going on. Just so much love. Wow, beautiful. Yes, all these different things in the chat, you guys, and thank you for showing that support for our poets who are talking about things that are so near and dear to the heart. And some of those things are traumatic, but we need to talk about them. All right, so I'm thinking that our judges are ready, looking like it. All right, so I think we're ready to rock and roll with our next poet.
My name is Angelo Reyes Mejia. This is The Cycle That Never Ends. I remember you told me many times that I can't complain. Then you make yourself the victim, and then I feel ashamed. I try to love like a good son would, but along the way, I had to quickly become my own person or feel disgusted with myself. Because I know what he did to your health. I never want to be that way. I will never be that way. It's terrible. It's terribly hard because we're the same. And in that, I begin to hate myself. But I'll never show it. Home is prison. And I lock myself in my cage and wallow in my sorrow. For I have no one to blame. But he is hurt worse than I. Not he who hurt you, he who hurt I. Not physically yet, but emotionally, yes. He flipped my world into a cycle of stress. When he left, I felt like falling dominoes. But I had to keep up in this game of chess. That's what life is to me. Do you understand? I don't say this aloud for sympathy points in the crowd. I just needed to say it and for you to listen to my cycle that never ends. Thank you.
Clearly stated, clearly articulated, speaking your truth. Love it, love it, love it. Was able to flow with that conversational tone that was in there. It was on point with that. Very clear, very articulate. That's right, Miss Pompey. Snaps. Let them know. All right, let them know. Snaps, 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 snaps all the way. So thank you so much for that, Angelo. Great job. Miss Baldwin says wonderful. All right. So loving it, loving it, loving it. Snaps from Zoe, amazing. From Cheyenne, thank you for sharing that piece and really breaking down what's going on in that relationship and what you're feeling in a conversational tone, like that person was sitting right in front of you. That takes some skill to do that. So great job with that. Feeling that all the way. Crucial conversations, y'all. We got to have them. We got to have them. All right. You said that part right there. Got to have these conversations. You got to let people know sometimes what's going on with us. It's so important. Let me put my plug in, y'all, because, you know, this is true any other time, but the corona stuff, y'all don't feel like you got to handle all this stuff on your own. All right. Do not feel you have to handle everything on your own. Go speak to someone if you need it. Tell them what's going on with you. Let someone sympathize, empathize, and give you strategize with you on how to feel better, how to do better, or just so you don't feel alone. Whatever, y'all. But I just need you to know that we got to promote that mental and emotional health and well-being. All right. So we got to get comfortable with letting people speak their truth. Okay. I'm hoping I'm vibing with everyone. I haven't seen my chat move a whole lot. I think I'm still live. Y'all know my Wi-Fi. That's crazy. Sometimes I got to check on it. All right. So if my judges are ready, y'all let me know. Let me know. But I just had to put that plug in. I'm serious, y'all. Take care of you during this time. You don't have to bear the world on your shoulders alone. Okay. Got judges look like they're ready. I see, and maybe waiting for one more judge, but I think we are ready to rock and roll. Yes, so our next poet, let's get it. Let's
All right.
get it.
Can you hear me okay? I'll give it a sec before I can get a spotlight. So
Okay, there we go.
Perfect, splendid. All right, my name is Zoe, and this is Citrus Fruit. There's enough bitterness in my diction that would turn limes into mangoes, that would remove the pine from apples and separate the grape from the fruit citrus. A word that would describe my language, a life filled with sourness, even in the sweetest of loot. Strangely enough, I ain't never had an orange before. But the tartness of my tongue resembles that precious citron. But it seemed to be confused with the dullest of fruit, melons. Though I ain't got the thick skin of a pomelo and to my fellow high yellows and even the tangelos, though you may have imaginary haters, ain't nobody studying you and your fellow, but I digress. My favorite fruits are watermelon, top 10, and I get a strange look when they think I mean muskmelons like honeydew, but I have no interest in such a juicy but meek fruit. My words burn when it squirts in your eye, and to them I despise the very nature of my tone. I surprise enough citrus in my spit to chase tequila. Cantaloupe is my grandmother's favorite fruit, and though she has diverticulitis, warm summer evenings, you would see her at that black and white spotted table, scraping the seeds out. Sickly thing it is to witness an ingrained disobedience that diluted her once justified pungent nature. But see, I have that kind of mouth that would have had me hung becoming a new berry or breed of fruit with blood and no seed. Miss Billy would saw somebody like me hanging on a poplar tree. So for every kumquat, yuzu, and tangerine, citron fruit, ugly fruit, and mandarin that has ever been near plucked from their tree and has been drained from the roots, I hope the juices that spill from my lips become a compost in your flower beds and make you sturdier than any previous citrus fruit. Thank you.
Oh, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Love all that metaphorical play on words. All right, all right. Make you want to say, okay, say that one more time. Say that. Let me catch it all. Let me catch it all. Love it, love it, love it, love it. All right. So feeling it, feeling it, feeling it, feeling it. It says, okay, but I'm obsessed. Snap, snap. Okay, yes. Wow. Snap, snap, snap. Get it, poet, did it, and I love all the metaphors. Yes, yes. I understand you guys. Listen, y'all are doing your thing. You're handling your business, and that's all we can ask you to do is handle that business. So when you get out here, you leave it all on the stage, all on the proverbial mic, all on all that stuff. Okay, so we have one more poet for this round. So as soon as our judges let us know that they are ready, we are going to rock and roll with our poet, our last poet for the first round. And then we'll get the scoring of that first round, and we're going to just keep it moving, y'all. It's Friday night. That's right. And we are hanging out together safely, virtually, but so significantly in ways that matter. So that's so cool. All right. So I do believe that my judges are ready. We're almost ready. Judges, we good. We good. I see three. I see three. Okay. I think we're ready to rock and roll. All right, folks, it's time for our last but not least poet.
Like I was saying, my name is Jaslyn Young, and my poem is called The Secret Shadow. Bottled up inside the hatred that cannot be described. Mirror on the wall, whom did I turn into after all? The shadow stole, my heart is now covered in cold. Then he begins to put lies in my head. All I hear is the words that he says. As I begin to be confused by the words that he used, as he looks into my eyes, he knows my soul that is covered up in lies. The shadow takes my hand into this cold, bitter room. The darkest words that he mumbles, the cries of war that I have been fighting is now heard, and the words begin to crumble. As the time passed in the absence of the shadow, the words that he left, all I can recall is the pain that he suppressed. And my body's aware of your presence and the unwanted lessons. I look in the mirror of the reflection of the shadow. The shadow's dark and hollow. He had a heart that is dark, and here is selfishness. All I felt is helplessness. The shadow made my heart suffer and die, questioning my own heart if I was my own ally. Time after time, there are so many questions I ponder. I guess the shadow made me stronger. Oh, that I wonder. I wonder if I'll be okay. I wonder if I should leave or should I stay. I wonder if I should let it be. Is that the key? The key to life, to fight and push people away, the tears in my eyes that I shed? I am now the shadow's prey. The shadow begins to push and pushes even more until I open the door. My strength, my joy, my strength, my love vanished into thin air. Now my heart is in war. It had me lost with no hope and no light. Now my heart was blackened and cold as the night. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jaslyn. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing that, loving that figurative language, loving that imagery you had in there, that emotion you were putting behind it. Awesome, awesome job. Snap, 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 snaps coming from everywhere. All right, fantastic, beautiful snaps. Okay, yes, poet. All right, so she's getting all that love. Great first round. Yes, I totally agree with that.
So, ready for a break before we start our next round?
Yes. So, are we announcing when we get back or before?
As soon as we get back, and we'll start off as soon as we announce the order of number 1 to number 9. Number 1's going to start off with a poem, and it's just going to go in that order.
Got you, yeah. Okay, time for a break, y'all.
Okay. I should have like just lowered the volume of that maybe. I need like DJ software. Okay. So we are ready to announce our rankings so far. Every poet will, of course, move on to the next round, and then top five will go on to the last round of the night. So let's keep the momentum going, poetry flowing. So I'm gonna go ahead just so I can start from the top. I'll go from number one down to the bottom, so that way the person who is number one, they can start prepping to go, share their poem. And this is gonna be this. This is the order, y'all, in which you are performing. So in first place so far we have Zoe. In second place we have Kene. In third place we have Natalie. In fourth place we have Tanita. In fifth place we have Maddie. In sixth we have Yin, followed by Jaslyn, followed by Angelo, and then rounding out the ends, Cheyenne. All right, so let's hear it for our poets.
All right, great job, poets. Great job. All right, the ranking is it's flexible. It fluctuates. It flows. So second round, come with it, come with it, come with it. Leave it all on the stage. Each and every one of you have an opportunity to go the second round. And you know what? All we ask is that you do you. That's what we ask. We ask that you do you, boo, do you. Okay, so bring it. And as long as you leave it all on the stage, we are so proud. All right, so make sure that you keep your confidence level up. You go all in, you go all out. All right, and just just level up, y'all. That's it. That's it. So we are ready to start the second round. The order has already been stated by Mr. Mayo. So you guys are going to come in and we're going to just keep it moving like we did round one. All right. Whenever you guys are ready, I'm ready.
All right. All right. Sorry. All right. An ode to Newports. The reason I praise social distancing so that I don't have to ride with my mother in the morning. Your scent sticks to her clothes in a way that no amount of Febreze could ever cover up. The stronghold that you have on Black folks is both disgusting and impressive. I see you more times than her inhaler, and I even wonder if she truly wants to quit. Despite the grass that you have on her, best believe you'll never have a chance with me. And I received enough secondhand smoke to make my lungs medium rare, and I only like my meats well done. I wonder, what do you gain in this monopoly? To those who work for you, do you really believe that a silly little white label evoked change and perspective? Oh, Newports, the reason well, more so the lack of. And like a black dove, you are a figment of relief, compartmentalized into a little rolled up stick of enough toxins that could kill a horse. If given to it for 48 hours, you scare me. The amount of lives that you take and then shift the blame to a matter of public choice. What a devious way to make gains. The reason for her metallic breath, aged skin, and strained relationship with her doctor. Oh, Newports. The unspoken God of the South, of all stable relationships you had with Black folks, you've been absolutely devoted to my mother, to the discarded carts and boxes and butts, the original earner in the killing spree. Thank you.
Loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it. I'm telling you, I grew up with the Newports around. So many people that I know. I'm telling you, have my mind flashing back to so many people. So many people. So thank you for speaking on that, speaking that truth to that particular thing. I know about it. I've seen it. I feel you on that. 100%, 100%. Miss Poppy says, love this. Flashbacks. I know, right? Miss Baldwin, flashbacks. Xavier says, awesome. You got a bunch of snaps. All right. Going all the way up the chat. Loving it, loving it, loving it. So speak that truth. We appreciate it because I'm telling you, you spoke on something that I hadn't spoke on, but I am feeling that 100%. All right, so our judges are ready. Okay, awesome. Next poet, you are up. Bring it.
Okay. Uh, this is called The Boy in Red. 7 years old. His favorite color is pink. He says it proudly, but to his dismay, his daddy tells him he should change it to red. It's more manly this way. He doesn't get why, because he learned in art class that pink is just red with a little bit of light, but he changes it anyway, decides to remember this day so that each time he gets pushed out the swing set, red blurs his vision and pushes him to push back. He's more manly this way. 8, 9, 10. The net on his toy wrestling ring is red. His trucks are red. His sheets are red. His shoes are red, and so is his left knee. He fell on the track during gym. His teacher calls his big brother because his dad is at work. His brother gets there, sees the tears, and tells him to suck it up. That men don't cry, so he blinks the tears away and it leaves him with red eyes. 11, 12, 13, 14. He's got his first girlfriend. She wants to have classes within next semester, and parent development is an easy course. His best friend tells him that that's a class for girls, that he's a dude and he doesn't need it. Red burns at his cheeks. He thought he was supposed to know this stuff, but it turns out he doesn't. He signs up for gym and tells his girl that something went wrong. Red encourages the lie, and when she catches him in it, Red tells him that she doesn't even mean that much to him, that it's better this way. 15, 16, Red is what gets him a 5-day suspension. It puts his hands around his eyes and molds itself into his brain. He throws a punch. 17, 18. Red's got him in trouble again. Red has inserted itself into his psyche, replacing all of the pink, making him punch and kick until he's handcuffed in a police station. He's in pain. His hands are red and his nose is oozing with it. Red has colored itself onto his body while the nurse bandages his hands. Red wraps itself around his soul. It fuels him. 19, 20, Red got him kicked out of college because when Red could find no more room in his brain, it coursed through his veins and found its way through his fists. Red is the reason he's got 2 kids, because it told him that he didn't need to know need to know about protection. It's the reason that he doesn't know the names of his baby boys, because when Pink went away, Red told him that kids weren't his responsibility. It blinded him to the point where he took red and used it as paint and decorated his baby mama's face with it. Red is the reason he drinks away his tears, because when he officially let go of Pink, blinking them away became impossible. Red is now the biggest regret he has. He used to think that it made him manly and strong, but as he looks at his reflection in his second bottle of liquor, he sees now that it's made him a husk of a man. He raises it to his lips once more, and his intoxicated mind takes him back to 7. Back to when Red had a little bit of light mixed with it. Back when he first told his daddy that his favorite color was pink. Thank you.
Yes, yes, poets. I felt that imagery. Yes, yes. It says, I love the timeline, the emotion, great descriptions. Speak, speak. I'm loving it. Whoa, or wow. That's right. Wow. So many things. Snap, snap, snaps. We need to talk about culture. We need to talk about the repercussions of promoting and teaching certain things in culture and how we spread that around and the consequences of that. So loving that exploration of how we attach labels and stereotypes to certain things like colors. Great. All right, Cheyenne says amazing. Zoe says exactly, Kane, exactly. I'm trying to say it like y'all typed it, okay? I'm trying my best. I want to convey that emotion. So great job with that. Talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. Talk about culture, talk about the ideas that we express and how they impact others. All right, our judges are coming in and typing ready, ready, ready. I'm waiting for another ready. Okay, it's coming up, but I'm telling you, I'm ready too. I am ready to hear this next piece because I know that these poets are going to continue to bring it. So next poet is your time on the stage. Handle your business.
Trigger warning for suicide and depression. I will give you a second to step out if you have to. I'm sorry. The person you were trying to reach is unavailable at the moment. Please leave a message after the beep. It was just a few days ago I caught myself calling your phone. I was praying you would pick up. My depression is back, and I was hoping hearing your voice would make me laugh or at least make me crack a smile. Because staring at these screens lately has been driving me crazy. All these blue lights are blinding me, and I just thought that you would know how to pick me up. Because your voice used to tickle me a certain way. Your jokes used to make me belly laugh for hours. But now, all I have to remember you is my thoughts. But lately, they've been getting the best of me for some reason. I haven't been able to remember the happy things. I only see black and white. You used to be my rainbow. The day you left me is the day I left myself. I really haven't been the same since. I called your phone the other day. Your voicemail didn't play. I'm sorry. The person you were trying to reach is unavailable at the moment. Please leave a message after the beep. Beep. I really needed you today, but you were selfish enough to take your own life, and lately I've been thinking about doing the same. I know you'll never hear this, but I'm saying it for myself. You were all I had. I really needed you today. I'm 665 miles away from your grave. It is not easy for me to be able to visit you. I would kill to hug and kiss you. I know you'll be unavailable for my lifetime, but I hope and pray that there's no oasis after this place. Please just watch over me until I can see you again. Thank you.
Yes, Natalie. Yes, you put it out there. We felt that. We felt that. That hit, okay? You say feeling this piece 100%. Good emotion. Thanks for sharing your vulnerability. Felt that, the emotion. All right. Girl, the emotion. Whoa. All right. The emotion. Oh my gosh. I'm just reading through all this love, all this love in the chat. You know, we open ourselves up with our poems at times, and we let people get a glimpse, and we make ourselves vulnerable. And we thank you for that, because we know it takes so much courage to do that. So thank you for doing that, poet. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, take time for yourselves, poets. You know, if you need somebody, reach out. If when you talk, when you say a piece, and that piece really hits you a certain way, if you need somebody to talk to decompress, you know, we got you. Reach out to us. We are here for you. All right. Thanks for putting that out there, Nick. That is just so important, an important part of our culture here when we're sharing these poems. That when you are feeling it, we don't want you to feel alone. We got you. We are with you. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So my judges are ready. All right, so next poet, come on up. It's your turn.
Trigger warning, this piece has mentions of mental abuse as well as physical abuse. I'll give you guys a second. You guys want to mute and whatnot. This piece is called But. Stop. You have to understand that I love you. Yes, I didn't answer your call, but no, I didn't. No, there wasn't a reason. I'm sorry. I have to put makeup on before we go out. I know this. No, I'm not raising my voice. Don't go near anyone. He may think you're doing something you're not. Mom, he treats me so well. Yes, he's the guy I want to marry, I promise. Yeah. It's sad that this is a normal for girls in our society. Not guys who open doors and bring you flowers randomly, but guys who make you flinch when their voice goes up an octave. Guys who would rather you cry and try to figure out what you did wrong than tell you that their new girl, well, she's just better than you. Guys who would step on your throat when you learn how to spell independent. INDE, INDEP. Oh, wait. INDEPENDENT. Independent. But you can't touch his masculinity because it'll break. Because he never learned that his father hitting his mother wasn't normal. Oh, sorry, did that phrase make you uncomfortable? Sorry, not sorry. Or the fact that your wife sleeps next to her daughters and not next to her abuse. I mean, her husband. That's not the new normal. It's actually the new, yes, mommy is okay, daddy just isn't feeling good. Daughters questioning bruises and scars that their mother can't explain, but me, I'm a different story. I've got the bite of a pit bull and the talk of a lion. Touch my mother again, and I'll chew you up and spit you out like the nothing that you are, the nothing that you've been, the nothing that you're becoming. Don't even step near her. You've tried to ruin her, and I brought her back. My siblings brought her back to the pedestal where she belongs. Her crown had to be dusted off, but she still wears it proudly. Please, you don't deserve our attention. Goodbye.
Oh, I was feeling all of that. I was trying to type it and she said, touch my mother again. I felt all of that in my soul. I felt that in my soul, y'all. I did. I felt that. I know y'all, I see it in the chat. You felt it too. It's like, honey, snap, snap, snap. Whoa. Felt that, poet. All right. Okay. Aggressive snaps. All right. She said it. We felt it. Preach, preach. All right. Yes, yes. That bite. Hey, that bite. Okay. I felt all of that. Like, don't try me. Don't try. I feel that. And I appreciate that the persona poems, the places where you took on the role of those who are suffering with domestic violence and struggling with it, and painting that clear picture, that imagery of what they go through, and then just making it personal and saying, not today, not today, Satan. Okay, I felt that. I'm sorry, I know I added that a little bit at the end, but the vibe, that vibe, it was there. It was there for me. All right, so I hope that people feel empowered, that you feel empowered, that there are different ways to fight domestic violence, and I hope you find a way that is safe and healthy if that's something you're dealing with. But do fight it, and come out okay. That's what we want for anybody going through this. So thank you so much for that piece. All right, so I'm thinking that our judges are ready. Yes, yes. Okay, so it is time for our next poet. It's your turn. Take the stage. Own it.
Trigger warning for mentions of rape. I'll give you a moment to mute. This is my peace garden. My flowers got ripped from the ground. This garden in my heart is being overthrown, wrapping my chest in thorns, holding my wrist down with vines as I scream out. My cries are silenced with these flowers being shoved down my throat. My tears making this garden grow stronger, trying to fight back my fear of being trapped in this forest. As your weeds start to wrap about my heart, suffocating my will to live, killing everything that I thought I loved. Imagining that I'm hiding in a bed of roses to protect myself, that I wasn't being held down against my will, watering the flowers that was doomed from the beginning. Overgrown by these worthless omissions, the flowers that we grew together died of thirst. These toxic fumes have overcome my peaceful garden, taking over my thoughts as we became one. Wishing that I was the tallest sunflower and not the daisy, that I was so out of your reach, hoping you wouldn't even imagine plucking me from the ground. To add to the rest of your wilted flowers, your collection of broken toys, with fallen petals surrounding us, leaving me unhinged, unwanted, wishing I was anywhere but here. But I'm just a daisy in a garden of sunflowers, and that's the root of the problem. That you have gotten underground and under my skin, our stems wrapping around each other. My flower was drooping, my petals falling. There is nowhere to escape, leaving me weak. My garden has officially been overthrown thanks to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Maddie. You know, it's a tough topic, a sensitive topic, and you know your imagery was strong, yet it treated the subject with respect. So I thank you so much for your approach and your creativity. All right. I just need you to, you know, everybody to woosah. You know, there. I honestly, we have to take a moment sometimes and show respect to the topic that has been presented. Um, Unfortunately, the statistics for this type of thing is it's ridiculous. You know, 1 in 3. So many people have experienced the horror of this, you know, this issue. And so you guys, you know, take a moment, take care of yourself, make sure you're okay. And if you're not, you just want to make sure you reach out for help. You're not alone. Unfortunately, this is not a rare occurrence. And so, you know, don't be ashamed because you weren't the one that did something wrong. Um, you're surviving, you're dealing with this, you are strong, and you're brave, and reach out because there's somebody who understands your story and wants to be there to help you get, you know, through this the rest of the way. Okay. All right. So our judges are coming in with they're saying they're ready. Okay. Wonderful. All right, so let's bring the next poet to the stage. It's your time, it's your stage. Do what you need to do. Handle your business.
Hi, I'm Yin, and this one is Toxic Femininity. Back in the 1900s, body image was everything. It determined how you were viewed or treated. Fast forward to now, it's still the same. Society puts harmful images of what a body should be like when it doesn't have to be anything. The most affected by the societal mold of what a perfect body image is women. Society says you have to be slim, but not too slim. Have a little bit to grab for the men. It says eat a strict, no carb diet, but you can still eat carbs and be fit. It says if you are overweight, you aren't worthy of love or beautiful, and the men would flock to you if you were prettier. Well, the last time I checked, it's my body. I don't let others decide what happens to it. I can eat what I want, do what I want. But when I eat one small nibble of a brownie, I am fat shamed. But when I don't eat, they ask me, why? Most women revert to anorexic ways to quickly lose the weight, which is very harmful because they're letting others tell them what to do with their body. Be a lady, they say. Dress in a sexy way for the men. Ew, why are you so underdressed? Cover up, but show a little thigh. Give them something to imagine about. Be a woman, they say. It can't be that scary to go out in public. Tell it to the women that are followed home every day or go missing or are dirtied in an alley against their will. Be a female, they say. Why are you carrying so much in your hands? Don't you have pockets? We would, if clothing companies wouldn't make shallow pockets just so our jeans uncomfortably hugged our curves. Women can't drive. Well, at least you don't have to drive a large, super loud truck to overcompensate for something. Being a lady is more difficult than is put out there. Trust me. Thank you.
Yes, Yin, yes. Okay, say that. Say that. We are dealing with culture tonight. We're dealing with, you know, we have a lot of great things in our culture, but like every other culture, we have some stuff that we need to deal with. We have some laundry that needs to be cleaned, okay? And double standards, you know, some hypocrisy, all right? Some of those isms, they need to be dealt with. So handle it, all right? Handle that, all right? Yes, yes. Snap, 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 snaps. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Getting that love in the chat. Okay. You said you got one for the boys too. Uh-oh. All right. So just saying, we got to deal with culture sometimes, and I'm loving that our generations that are coming up are ready to deal with culture. So we have nowhere to go but up with a generation that's ready to take on these issues head on. Yes, they are not scared. And I love that. I love that. They are not scared. And we have nothing but room for improvement. So I am just loving it because I love progress. I love improvement. And I love when people are bold enough to deal with the critical issues. Yes, yes. So waiting for my judges to let me know when you guys are ready. All right, it's coming in, ready, getting a few more. And I'm just enjoying myself so much tonight. I am ready to hear the next poet. I am so ready. I mean, they have me on this emotional roller coaster right now. I don't know whether I want to laugh, cry, fight. So many different emotions, but I am loving it. This is how I know I am alive and well, the full range. You said, right? I'm telling you. All right. So you said doing better than the adults with that part. They're handling their business. Yes, they are. They're not scared. Y'all don't lose that heart. We need you. We need you. All right. So we are, and we need the next poet. So my next poet, I think we are ready for you. So go ahead and step up to the stage.
I'm reading I See What I See. I look in the mirror, I see what I see. A person who stands there, that person's me. Jesus loves me, this I know, for he tells me so. I look to heavens and begin to pray, because I know he's never far away. He made you made me you, fearfully and wonderfully made. Even though my memory fades away, he always will be in my head where he stays. He created me and you with special clay. He will be with you and me every day. Just in case you're wondering, he loves you and he has you in his arms. He will never bring you to harm. I look at myself, I see what I see. A person who stands there, that person's me. Jesus, you will love me even if I stray. I will get down on one knee and begin to pray. You died on the cross. You will always find us, even if we're lost. As we walk through the day and sleep through the night, Jesus always has us in his sight.
Jaslyn, you said that, poet. We felt every bit of that emotion. Thank you for being brave and speaking your heart. I am with you. I mean, my faith is encouraged just by hearing what you had to say. And I'm telling you, even if some people don't have the same faith, I think we all understand the importance of having faith and believing in the good and believing that something out there is for us and bringing us along, even in a world that's so chaotic sometimes. So thank you for putting that out there. I love it, love it, love it. And you did it through tears. And let me tell you, from a person who believes in Jesus too, sometimes I got to do that through tears too. It's a part of the journey, but you did it. And that is amazing. Thank you so much. And so people are hyping you up. Your emotion is good, so raw emotion. Love that you shared your vulnerability. I absolutely love it. Thanks for speaking on your faith. Yes, faith, your heart. Yeah, call the surgeon because we are open in here. I know that's right. We love it. For so many of us, when we have a faith, it is so important to our lives. It's what we lean on trying to get through difficult times. And so thank you for speaking on that, because it's so, faith and spirituality is so important to so many of us. And thank you for sharing that with our audience. Yes. He said, I felt the presence, girl. Love it, love it, love it. So my judges, you just let me know when you're ready and we can keep moving. You got a snap from some of the judges, and just so much celebration for what you shared with us. Thank you so much. All right, so I think our judges are ready. Yep, okay, we are ready to rock and roll with our next poet. Let's get it. This is your moment.
Hi, my name is Angelo Reyes Mejia, and this is The Day That Ends. The day breaks, and I'm still here. With problems, no one wants to come near, but I wake up and go through the day to start anew with no delay. Life goes on, my friends. Being young was really fun. With no cards or bills, life was a thrill. School easy, parents caring and loving. Cuts and bruises fade like the day. But life goes on, my friends. My best friend comes to stay. It was a new one. Puberty, his name. He has made me weird. Classmates, too. Struggles in the day that we go through, and life goes on, my friends. Real years start, but life is a mess. Home life turning into a test. Trying to figure out my next move like chess. Soon, I care less and less. Don't forget, life goes on, my friends. Then I learned carpe diem. Seize the day or learn to pay, because life is short and not sweet. My experience is a very sour treat, but life goes on, my friends. So life is okay and never sweet, because good things always end disastrous. Get a boyfriend, he cheats, just like the girls you meet. Everyone breaks your heart into pieces, I'm sure, but life goes on, my friends. Maybe your parents beat you, or you get harassed at school. Maybe your sibling died, or you got drunk and hid from the cops by a pool. Life goes on, my friends. I understand that life is hard on you. It is on me too. And the kids that Jewel. Life is hard for us. That's why we always fuss. Teachers never see what's going on with we. But life goes on, my friends. I'm sorry from the bottom of hearts, but don't let life tear, paw, or break you apart. Because life will always go on, my friends. And even though this has all happened to you, you just got to go through the day at school. But don't worry, my friends, because you know what bends? The sky when the day finally comes to an end. Thank you.
Love that, love that. It felt like that coming of age piece that takes you through all those different stages in life. You had me going on that journey with you, and I love it because you had that innocence of childhood and all the complications of adolescence and what you have to get through to make it to adulthood and those complications. But life does go on, and that's the thing. Just keep living. Just keep living. Love that. Love that. Love that ending too. Enjoy that. Yeah. Flashback to Dead Poet Society. Carpe diem. Loved it. Loved it. Yes. Yes. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. I feel that. Okay. And we need to do that. Remember, it doesn't stop here. Even if you're having a rough moment, life goes on. We're having our best moment. We can't stay there forever. Life still goes on. It's that maturity thing, man. It keeps it rocking. It keeps rolling, whether it's good or bad. It still keeps it moving. Yes, I know. In a whole therapy session, in an entire therapy session right now. I'm feeling that. I mean, that did something for me. I'm going to remember that. I'm going to have Angelo in my head when I'm having a day, probably in fourth period when we're in the same class. And I'm going to say, life goes on, my friend. You know what? Sometimes I got to kick you out my head, Angelo. You guys are funny. I enjoy that. Loving your good humor, positive attitudes. I mean, just the the grit that it takes, you pushing through. Oh man, I am impressed. I am impressed. People try to say things about the younger generation, but I think sometimes that's because they don't take enough time to get to know you. But I know you, and I know you guys are phenomenal. All right, loving it, loving it. So our judges are coming in with their ready for their scores. At least one judge. Okay, we're working on some more, you guys. But hey, they are coming. But like I said, you guys, listen, listen, people. If you're listening, if you're of the mature uh, group like me and some of the other coaches in here, take time to get to know your youth. Take time to listen to them. They know things, they understand things, and they have valid perspectives, so spend some time with them. Okay, spend some time, take the time to get to listen, to get to know them, and then you can share some of your perspective and life experience. And there's some things in life that don't change, but there's always things that do change. So sometimes they got to keep us up on what's really going on, because some of this stuff is over my head. All right. So just saying, I think our judges are ready. Awesome. Awesome. So who is next? Who is next up to the mic? It is time for our last but not least poet. Never the least. All of them are A1 in my book, because they are doing the thing that most people are scared to do, public speaking. All right. So represent. Next poet.
This next poem is called Grandpa. Trigger warning for murder and losing a loved one. So if you need to mute, you can. Memories, memories come back to me. I need you now more than ever today. I miss the thought of you sitting in the house, taking a nap in your favorite chair. I would come in and steal the remote off your chest, and you would wake up and wonder why it was gone. I remember going into the kitchen and grabbing my favorite fruit out of the fridge. You always kept it in a special place that you had just for me and my siblings. It was the reddest, most juiciest apple that we ever taste. They were always right there waiting for us to come and eat them. It may sound silly, but you were the only reason I ever wanted to eat an apple. Trips to the flea market with you were the best. We would always mess around, even if it was supposed to be a guy thing. At the time, I was your only granddaughter, so you brought me along. We always had fun, had ice cream after, and it was so amazing. You made me feel so special, and I'll never forget those days. But now, with you gone, you were wrongfully taken. He took a gun to your heart right in your front yard. I never got to say goodbye. It was hard going to your funeral. I couldn't stand seeing you laying there paralyzed, knowing that you were never going to wake up. It hurts to this day, but I know that you don't want me to be sad. I know you want me to celebrate and live life the way you intended for me. You built a legacy, a starting block for me and my siblings, for your whole family, and I'll never forget it. I admire how much you worked for us to make sure that we lived a good life, even if our dad was not present. I love you and I miss you to this day. And forever and always, you will be my grandpa. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cheyenne, for sharing that touching poem, that vulnerability. We respect your experience, and we just want to make sure you are taking care of yourself in this moment, making sure that you are good. So make sure, because I know we always make sure that when you relive something like that, that's a traumatic event, we want to make sure that you take care of yourself. We want to make sure that you find that comfort that you need. I'm glad Cheyenne is saying feels like his presence is with you. And I'm glad, grandparents are so special, and the relationships they have are so unique. And so thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you. You did a great job.
Thank you, Cheyenne. And thank you all poets. Like this was a great second round. So many emotions just flowing. I'm excited for the last round. I don't know about y'all. So I think time to take a break. And when we get back, we'll announce our top 5. Sound good, Miss Rivers?
Sounds perfect.
All right. Let's hear y'all.
Billboard, baby, do.
Sorry. Okay. I'm trying to figure this out. I didn't realize I played the same song again too. It's one of those days, y'all.
The music's great. You're doing a great job, Mayo. You are the tech guy, the sound guy, the DJ, the scorekeeper, I don't know how you do it all. I just get to talk to people, which I love. But you gotta do all the hard stuff. So all right, y'all give it up for Mr. Mayo because he is handling all of this business. So y'all show him some love in the chat. Mayo needs some love. It's Friday. And we just put in grades and we've been doing things and going without sleep and stuff. And Mayo's in here doing 10,000 things. All right, that's right. That's right. Show that love. We need love sometimes too. All right. So,
Before
awesome.
we announce the results and who's moving on to the last one, I do want to just say thank you to everybody watching. Y'all have been a great audience. Keep leaving messages in the chat for our poets. They need it. They appreciate it. They love it. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Also, thank you to our two coaches with us as well, Mrs. Pompey, Mrs. Baldwin. They both have been phenomenal help and coaching these young poets along with us. It's just been great. Like, I'm just loving the community that we have created. Thank you to everybody in the poetry community as well for sharing, coming to our events, promoting, and all that. So, you guys ready to see who's moving on to the final round?
Yes, we are ready.
It's gonna be a real good one. I mean, no matter what, it would have been amazing. But I'm hype. I'm hype. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start off with. Should we go? High to low, low to high.
Uh,
I'll let you choose.
just build it up. Build it up.
Build it up. Okay. So, in fifth place and moving on to the final round, we have Tanida, 45.7. That's total, round one, round two. And I'm just saying, y'all, like round one, round two, things flip, people moved around. So it can really be anybody's game at this point for sure. In fourth place, we have Maddie, 48.5. Sorry, I'm like looking at the wrong score. Third place, we have Natalie, 52.1. And then in second place, we have Zoe with a 53.9. And then first place, we have Kane, just a 0.1 difference, 54. So let's hear it for our top five. Let's hear it for all the other poets as well who gave it their all, bared their hearts, their soul, put their emotion on their sleeve. Like, so proud of you. Thank you all. Keep writing. All right. Keep coming to our workshops. Keep doing your thing. It's all about growth. And I don't know about you, Miss Rivers, and other coaches. Like, I have noticed the growth since October now, and I just keep it up. Like, seriously. All right. Some of you, this is your second slam ever. And I think I'm amazed. So we're gonna start off then with Tanida, then to Maddie, then Natalie, then Zoe, finishing off with Kane.
Let's get it, poets. Let's get it.
Trigger warning, this piece has a lot of racial commentary, just a lot of like race versus race stuff, nothing, just a lot of racism, like alliteration. So if you aren't a big fan of that, please head out now. I'll give you guys a few seconds. This piece is called Safety. Safety, a 6-letter word that has two meanings. One, being make sure to stay safe and, out of trouble. The second, being make sure to keep your hands on the wheel if you get stopped. Make eye contact as you reach for your paperwork. Make sure they see both your hands and don't speak unless you are spoken to. I mourn with the families that lost their loved ones. I mourn for the 264 African Americans that never got to see the light of day, that never got to tell their families goodbye in 2019. Only 13% of the population is made up by African Americans, but 20% of that 30 are killed before they can live their life and live on their legacy like they're supposed to. Pushing a knee into his neck isn't a justifiable homicide. Just because he was on a run and was vulnerable doesn't mean it's a justifiable homicide. Just because she was in her house or he was walking to the gas station doesn't mean it's a justifiable homicide. How many times do people have to sit here and cry over their children, over their brothers, over their sisters, over their fiancés, their husbands, their wives, till society decides to get it right? How many times do we have to sit here and deal with the fact that 90% of cops that go on trial for killing people, oh wait, sorry, my mistake, for self-defense, don't even get in trouble? 11 times, Eric Gardner said he couldn't breathe. Tamir Rice was only 12 years old when his life got taken because of an airsoft gun. Let me repeat that so you can hear it, an airsoft gun. 8 minutes and 46 seconds is a time engraved on my eyelids that I will never forget about. Imagine being 12, holding your stomach in your chest and wondering why all you see is red. Imagining running to your child and them crying, asking, "Mommy, am I going to be okay?" These traumatic memories are some that I know will live with us till the day we die. But how many more people have to suffer? How many more people have to wish that their melanin was lighter? In this day and age, an African American would be lucky to live till 40 without being shot or even killed by the police. And why is that? Why is it that I can't go out with my brother in a hoodie and sweatpants without being looked at and inspected like some wild animal? But let my melanin be a little bit lighter and I'll be okay. Let my curl pattern be a little bit more straight and I'll be okay. Right? The reflection of my pigment in my skin shouldn't decipher whether or not I'll rob you or try to hurt you. It should be a reflection of my favorite qualities, my favorite things to do. You never know I like to write, or that I sing, or that I'm a daughter to a single mother, because you're too caught up on the fact that I look like a wild animal, right? People wonder why minority continue to say that we are oppressed, but you're looking right at it. Black and white are two shades that go so undefined, but black and blue are two shades that are way too similar, but couldn't be more different. Thank you.
Speak that, speak that, speak that. Got to deal with the culture, got to deal with what we need to deal with. I have people saying, say it louder for the people in the back. Felt that, snap, snap, snap. She went in, snapped. I really felt this one, period. Facts, facts, and facts spelled 4 or 5 different ways. Okay, thank you for the truth. All right, thank you so much for that. And thank you for just dealing with that topic. It's heavy, but we all need to feel each other's pain. Empathy is so important, and we have this journey that we need to take, and we won't get there unless we take it together. So thank you for bringing it up. It may make people uncomfortable, but it doesn't mean it doesn't need to be said. So appreciate you for that. All right, Mayo, judges, are we ready? Are we still?
Are ready? We do have a time discrepancy, unfortunately. There's a little too long with this poem, and I'm just doing the math.
Got you. But despite the time, the message was necessary, so we appreciate it.
But we have a low score of a 7. Boo. I'm just gonna say it myself. Okay. Judges a 7.1, a 7.3, an 8.3, a little better.
Okay.
High of a 9.
Oh, yes.
Nice, amazing poet. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. All right, we are ready for our next poet. Come on to the stage.
This is my piece, Alice. I know it's not fair to drag my friends down this rabbit hole, but I am too scared of the dark to go alone. letting the Mad Hatter guide me through Wonderland. What was Lewis Carroll thinking? This is nothing like Through the Looking Glass. There is no round two because I never left. And the Queen of Hearts never let me go. My insanity is slowly leaving me. Wishing you could see through my eyes, realizing that the Cheshire Cat has been leading me down on the wrong paths. My world is spinning. Skipping a beat like a broken record, it came creeping in like a folklore, warning me, but it's so elusive not to. While everything came crashing down on me, I was at the tea party. With the mist of Wonderland being drunk off the energy, finally feeling like I belong. Trying not to play pretend, hoping this lasts forever. All of a sudden, I'm painting flowers for you again, painting all the white red, leaving you a trail of paint to come and find me. Join me down this rabbit hole. I'll take you to Wonderland. We'll finally belong, letting the haze dictate what's right from wrong. Maybe Lewis Carroll was right. This is exactly what it's like. Drink from the bottle, see what I see. Let the hookah smoke cloud your vision, following the white rabbit as it blends in with the smoke. Enjoy this dream of Wonderland while it lasts. Now you understand why Alice jumped. Just keep on drinking from that bottle and let the technicolor of Wonderland draw you in, I promise. Thank you.
Love it, love it, love it. Love the references, love the illusion, love the imagery, love the figurative language. Snap, snap. Say, ooh, the figurative language. Go, Maddie. All right, snap, 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 snap. Yes, loved it, loving the tone, the upbeat nature of it all. Sometimes you got to take a little risk to have, to live that life, to live your best life. You got to take a little risk sometimes. So feeling it, lighthearted. Felt like I was there. Okay, lady, clap, 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 clap. All right, Mr. Mayo, are we ready? Almost ready? Are we there? Are we there yet?
We are there. I don't know what it's doing, but okay. Hi. So we have a low score of a 7.2, boo, a 7.2, a 7.5, a 7.7, and a high of an 8.3. Let's hear it for Maddie.
Thank you so much, Maddie. We enjoyed that journey. Thank you, and thank you. Do better, judges. All right, next poet.
Part 3. I should have hugged you harder the last time I saw you. If I would have known that would have been the last time I saw you, I wouldn't have let go. We would have became one, arms intertwined in everything we do. I would have became a part of you. I would force myself awake every night to make sure my fingertips never lost their grip. I would handcuff our hearts together so we would never have to be apart. I would tie all of our shoelaces so every step you take, I would always be one step behind you. If that meant playing your stupid video games all day long, if that meant listening to you and your little brother bicker, I would always be on your team. They would never have the last word. If I knew the last time I saw you would be the last time, I wouldn't show up because the tears in my eyes would block me from seeing you. So what's the point? Vision so blurry, you're just one big blob to me, crooked spine and all. If I knew the last time I saw you would be the last, I would close my eyes the whole time. I would hold your hand so tightly you could never let go. Whisper, I love you in your ears until you have my voice memorized. Picture what our lives would look like together. I would use my fingers to move around your face as if you were Braille. I would be blind for you. If I knew the last time I saw you would be the last, I would never let you go. Thank you.
Felt that passion, that emotion. I felt all of that. Love, love, love. I know it's revisiting a deeper topic, but I felt that love, felt that longing in there. Love that visual. Okay, it says felt that, so amazing. Snap, 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 snap. Go Nat, you got this. Okay, more snaps. Great job. Love that emotion, girl. Love how you could just waver between those tones, those emotions. Love that range of emotions. Just feeling that all the way through and through. Okay, okay, okay. Mr. Mayo, are we ready?
We are ready. I don't know why it keeps making me press this button here, but we have a low score of a 7.8.
Boo.
Boo, yes. A 7.9. Boo.
Boo.
An 8, getting better.
Okay, okay.
8.2. And a
Mhm.
8.5. So let's hear it for Natalie.
Good job, Natalie. Good job. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, next poet, let's make it to the stage.
Can y'all see me, hear me? Okay. And Jabez called on God, saying, "Oh, my thou, bless me indeed, and enlarge my territory as I wrote this." The next line never fails to leave my memory, a distant rhyme that I just couldn't seem to grasp, despite the constant mornings of reciting said prayer in my me mommy's bathroom before school. And that thine hand might be with me, a hand that over time I have shunned. No longer consider myself to be devoted to a God that seemed just as moral as me. Why I gotta praise him? And thou would keep me from evil, reciting this very line with pure pessimism, to go through an abuse that has shaped my entire adolescence for the sake of character development. If I could, I would hawk the fattest loogie in his face, and that may not grieve me. Even now, I question Jabez's devotion. His name literally meaning he caused his pain within his motion, in his spirit, in his bones, in his being. He was composed of anguish and grief. The only genuine reason for his compulsive praying was to avoid a fate centered in his beliefs. Sometimes I wonder if I'm kin to Jabez. My kindness and meekness have dwindled within my prayers and faded into a bitter chill that stands the hairs of a dog's back, that ignites fires and flips tables, that rage, that anger, that frustration. I was fueled by God's neglect to heal those wounds, praying a prayer that may have worked for Jabez, but never stopped the uncomfortable gazes of church or suppressed the blaring of the fire alarms, the flames that are out of my reach. The couch, the bed, the carpet, the suffocating smoke, hands around my throat, bits of barrettes, beads, bulbs fall into my mouth, gasping for air as I choke on the doily white socks. And the ribbons in my hair that is tied into a knot instead of a bow. Jabez may have been made of pain, but I ain't got enough faith to pray like Jabez, and God granted him at which he requested. Because God seemed to understand that those who blindly devoted him never questions his mistake and is discouraged in doing so. Oh, the Lord is truly great, so excuse my bitterness. Religion lost its value, blindly following a light that is given the same disadvantages of Jabez, but the faith is minuscule compared to compensate for the pain. Amen. Thank you.
Felt the passion in that. Felt the passion in that. I tell you, there's always a struggle between faith and all those other things. And thank you for expressing that. Expressing that. We felt it. We felt every bit of that. That imagery was there, and those references to all the things that go along with traditional typical things about Sunday and clothes and all those other things. You put that in there. That vulnerability was definitely there. Great job. Passion, the hand snaps all around. Yes, 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 yes. Someone said, "Oh man." Okay, very passionate, very passionate. You did an amazing job. So this is coming from the chat, putting it all out there. Good job with that. Mr. Mayo, are we ready?
We are ready. We have a low score of a 9.
Uh-oh.
9.
Oh.
9.2, a
Woo.
9.2. I have a 9.5. Let's hear it for
Ooh, who did that? Did that. Great job. Great job, judges. Great job. Awesome. Okay, we are ready for our last poet of the night. All right, last but definitely not least, come on to the stage and show us What you got?
Okay. Trigger warning. This poem has implications of sexual assault and violence and blood. Okay. Wait, hold on. Really? Okay, sorry. Trigger warning. Based on a true story. It was a cold and foggy night. He wrapped the blanket around his body tighter as the temperature dropped. Suddenly, they were close, getting closer, the sound of their running footsteps getting louder like thunderclaps only he heard. Twig after twig cracking underneath his bare, calloused feet, the welts on his back dripping with warm blood, unknowingly creating a trail for them to follow, his body converting pain into adrenaline. Thinking of gangly fingers running all over his skin made him run faster, yet he wasn't moving. Running in one place while they were getting closer, at least that's how it felt, the raspy voices echoing, getting louder, telling him that they only wanted to teach him a lesson that he knew would end in death because he had seen it before. 3-time fact. Mother, neck broken by rope. Father, forced to watch, then bullet to the head for being rowdy. Sister, they touched her first. For fun, didn't hesitate to strip away the innocence she had lost forever ago while putting a gun to her little skull because she was too small to share her mother's fate. Now it's his turn. This man, surrounded by darkness, being hunted because his skin is darkness, blaming himself because if only he had been strong enough to fight, maybe. If only he had been 3 shades lighter, maybe. If only he had been born a couple of 100 years later, maybe he wouldn't be in this mess. But this isn't the time for maybes. This isn't the time for changing the script, making it fit so the death doesn't seem so definite. This isn't a horror movie. Insane how easy it is to make the lives of my ancestors sound fictional, ain't it? What's crazier is that this poem could have been referring to a few months ago, days ago, minutes ago. A trigger warning only goes so far. What do you do when your skin is bigger? What do you do when you're living in a horror movie you didn't know you were casted in? Why does black skin need to come with a trigger warning?
Whew. Okay. I'm telling you. All right, that last line, right? That last line, she did that. Yes, you did that. I mean, you spoke that, you told that story. And I am, I know enough about American history, period, to know that that story is 100% true, and variations of it are as well. And it's a harsh reality, but you spoke that truth. And I just hope that, we get to a day where black skin doesn't need to come with the trigger warning. Woo, gosh, you say ain't nothing left on her plate. Ain't nothing left on her plate.
No. Oh my gosh. This is so good, y'all. Like, for real. Amazing last round. Once again, growth all around. I am really, really excited for Poetic Pathos Youth Slam. We're still waiting for some scores. And then we're going to take a break.
But these poets really left it all on the stage tonight. We thank you for doing that. We appreciate your courage, your talent. We appreciate your time. We know that, this all does take time. It takes vulnerability. It takes bravery. It takes a whole lot, even your grit. We appreciate all of it. So thank you. And thank you for being a voice, a megaphone for the people that you are representing in this space tonight.
Right, we have our scores ready. I'm pretty sure, let me make sure the judges finalize. Yep, okay, we're good. We have a low score of a 9, a 9.1, a 9.5, 9.6, and a high score of a 9.6.
Represented. Good job, Kanae. Show Kanae some love. We had a great final round. We finished strong, you guys. Whew, mind blown.
Yes.
Okay. Mind blown. All right, Mr. Mayo. So what are the next steps? What's up? What's up? What's
So
up?
what we're going to do is just take a little break. When we get back, I think we're supposed to hear a poem, but I'm not sure. We're going to double check and then get the show. All right. So
Got you. That poem's supposed to come from you. Can you still hear me? No, you can hear it, but we can't. You just like,
okay, I think that was good. All right. So we have the scores ready. So tradition is usually we call the MC out on the spot. However, we did that last time. I'm doing it, and I guess I had to do a poem. It's okay because next time, and I want to call them out now. Baldwin, is Baldwin? You're doing it next time. I was gonna.
I'm cool with it. Let's do it.
Yes, she's an actual spoken word artist, so like, I'm glad I'm going before her. If
Oh
anything.
yeah, yo. All right.
So the poem that I'm going to do is called Childhood Memories, and I wrote it as a way, a little therapy, brought me a little catharsis. And I also did it as a way to like set the example for my students and let them know that it's okay. It's about suicide, so trigger warning. Um, and the reason why I felt like it was important to share and be real and authentic with my students is let them know that at the very end, whether you are depressed, suicidal, whatnot, like things will get better. I promise you. It takes time. It's all part of the journey. So here's my poem, Trigger Warning again. You never forget your first time on the pedal. I remember being a little kid full of anxiety that I was going to do it wrong. No more training wheels for this lad. I'm a big kid now. I stood tall, grabbed control of the handle, and took my first attempt at suicide for a spin. I was 7 years old. At 7, most kids don't quite understand what death is. But for me, a window from the 3rd floor meant all the pain went away. Most kids were just playing of toys, yet I was playing of emotional breakdowns, and suicide was the only thing on my Christmas list. The second time I tried it, I was 10. I remember every last bruise made imitating X-Men, but back then I wasn't no Wolverine. My scars healed, my bruises faded, but mentally, Joel wasn't okay. All it took was daddy to make me feel unwanted and unloved, to think about the best way to cut away life with those adamantium claws. Thankfully, it wasn't enough and no one found out. The third time I played games with suicide was in high school. Life was like a game of spades. Every time I thought about throwing down an ace, someone or something hit me with a joker, and it wasn't the small one either. Big joker came knocking. I was tired of being shuffled back into the minds of others. Cutting cards became cutting hard, and it was hard to keep playing. The last time I tried to commit suicide, I was no longer a kid. Parents divorced plus brother in jail divided by girl problems in school equaled it was finally enough. I thought maybe I could play with cars, take this Honda Civic for a spin like Hot Wheels, except this time there's no reloading my track. I'm going 100 miles per hour toward that wall and launching this into one final stunt. But then I realized I was still so young. Life had yet to fully blossom. I could take these toys and instead of putting them back into my chest to play later, I freed them, put them on display and lived. I spent years making suicide my imaginary friend, and it was time to give life an ad on Facebook. I look back, 10 years since my last attempt, happy that suicide was just a childhood memory and not a reality like so many others. I say this to anyone who has ever considered it or thinks about it to this day, you will be fine. You are loved, and you too can make it just a memory. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Mayo. Oh, you did that. I mean, I didn't even know you were tired, but like you just kind of transformed. Like it was like,
I have
and just,
to, set the example, I guess.
oh, you did. We felt all of that, the whole journey. Thank you so much for sharing that, the vulnerability, the encouragement, all of it. You did that, Mayo. You really did. Thank you.
Thank you. So y'all ready for some results?
Yes, we're ready for some results.
So once again, thank you to everybody who watched. Thank you to all the poets. Thank you to our coaches. Thank you to all our supporters. You are all amazing. You make this happen. We're gonna start off from going back up again. In fifth place, let's hear it for Tanita. Great job, ma'am. So proud of you. Fourth place, here for Maddie. Great job, Maddie. Proud of you. Third place, Natalie. Great job, Natalie. So proud of you. And then second place, Zoe. Here for Zoe. And that means in first place, Kene. Congratulations, Kene.
Congrats to each and every one of you. Thank you so much. You guys rock. You rock. Oh my gosh, you do. Congrats. Congrats, y'all.
So this is it for our show. Thank you all. Our next show, if you've been watching our presentation, it is coming up December 18th. All right. We also have workshops. Follow us on Poetic Pathos Youth Slam on our Facebook page. We also have Instagram, Twitters at Poetic Pathos, a website, poeticpathos.com. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you to our poets. Anything else, Ms. Rivers?
Yes, y'all, just, you know what, if you know somebody who's like, I know what my cousin likes to do this, or my brother or my best friend, tell them about us, send them our way. We are here for everybody in this surrounding area, and we are always looking for more talent, more youth to help. So spread the word, support us by spreading the word.
Exactly. This helps. The fact that we have Zoom, I'm still trying to figure out how to work it because I'm so used to WebEx, but this allows us to just collaborate with all these poets from around the county. We have poets who from 4 different schools represented tonight. And that's amazing. All right. I'm hoping that we can keep getting more. Yes. So if you know anybody out there, and it doesn't just have to be Cumberland County, like the surrounding areas. We even had poets a few years ago from Raleigh. So, just come. We would love to have you, love to collaborate. This is an amazing community. Every single one of these poets in the chats have supported one another. And that's what it's about. competition is not about the points, it's about the poetry. And we stand by that 100%. Keep pushing these kids and make them grow. And so far we've seen nothing but that. So
yes, and if you are like, if you're not young enough to be in the performing part of it, we are always looking for some inspired, mature people to come in and help us host workshops and help coach and help encourage. So, we're always looking for a little extra help. We want to grow this community, every age, every background, as long as, you have a heart for children and their well-being, for spoken word. We want to build this community. So reach out to us and let us know what you can do to help our youth as they speak what's on their hearts and minds.
Yes. So thank you guys again. Hope to see you next month, December 18th. Mark it in your calendars. Follow us on Facebook, share, spread. Thank you. Thank you for attending.
Thank you
for supporting us. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Happy Thanksgiving.